Has Christ satisfied the wrath of God? Part 3. In part 1 of the series, we established that God will still pour out his wrath on the children of disobedience, which directly challenges the idea that Christ's death satisfied God's wrath once and for all. In part 2, we examined Isaiah chapter 53 and found that it does not teach that God poured his wrath on Christ. Rather, the poetic language in the passage reflects how Christ's suffering would appear to those witnessing it. To interpret it as literal outpouring of divine wrath on Jesus is speculative and lacks proper exegesis and hermeneutical grounding. In both previous parts, we concluded that God was not motivated by wrath when he sent his Son to die for us, but by love. In other words, Jesus did not come to suffer and die to satisfy God's wrath. He came to deal with our sin. Understanding why Jesus died forms the theological foundation for properly understanding God's grace. Hyper-grace teachers often claim that Christ already satisfied God's wrath and therefore believers no longer need to fear divine judgment, even if they go astray. This teaching can become spiritually dangerous. When carnal Christians adopt the idea that disobedience carries no consequences because God's wrath has already been satisfied, it can lead to a hardening of heart and a lifestyle of unrepented sin, fostered by a false sense of eternal security. That's why it's crucial to establish doctrine based on clear scripture, not conjecture or isolated interpretation. In Philippians chapter 2, verse 12b to verse 13, we read, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you both to will and to do for his good pleasure." Similarly, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 5 to 7, Paul writes, "Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you, sexual immorality, impurity, passions, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Because of these, the wrath of God is coming on the sons of disobedience. In these you too once walked when you were living in them." And again, in 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5, Paul exhorts believers, "Examine yourself to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourself. Do you not realize this about yourself, that Jesus Christ is in you, unless indeed you are disqualified?" Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.